This is probably the most important part about trigonometry angle things with Algebra 2 is making these triangles and then figuring out what the sine, cosine, and tangent of these things are. Or we have the angle already and we have to use this concept to be able to figure out what the angle would be. All right, so we plot a point, and it doesn't matter if it's to scale. All right, and that's probably one of the most important things here. So there's my point right there. And then it says make a triangle. What that means is I'm going to go from the origin to that point and straight down to make a triangle. All right. So I want to make sure it's in the right quadrant. So 5, -12 would be right there. All right. I'll talk about what we're doing here in a second. So there's my triangle. All right. Didn't complete that one. All right. And then it says evaluate cosine of theta, evaluate sine of theta. So now what's going on here? Well, we know how long these sides are. From here to here is 15. How do I know that? Because it's 15 right there. And then this one is 8. All right, now it's not -8, it's 8 because I'm talking about how long it is. All right, so this is 8. So now I have a right triangle and I know two of the sides, 8 and 15. All right, so 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. All right, so then 8 squared plus 15 squared is 289. So 289 equals c squared. I think that's 17. 17. So that's 17 equals c. So now I have a right triangle. All right, and it says evaluate cosine of theta. All right, now up above, I wrote the thetas into the triangles, not really thinking about why they weren't there. All right, and I'm sure at this point they were there. They weren't there because with these questions, you're always finding the angle formed by the x-axis and the hypotenuse of that triangle. All right, that's always the angle you're finding. It's going to be the reference angle when we get that far. All right, but that's why that theta wasn't in those other questions. All right, I put it in there so we didn't talk about it then. We're talking about it now. So that means that this would be the hypotenuse, this would be the opposite, and this would be the adjacent. So it wants to know, hey, what's cosine? Well, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's 8 over 17. So what we're going to be able to do eventually is be able to say, okay, well, then that angle is this. All right, the angle created by the line going through 8, 15 is this angle. All right, and that's what we're ultimately trying to do. So that's what we're going to be looking at.